Hello Australia, welcome to episode 699 of The Couch. Big show today. Demels is in, talking music. Later on, Marika Bailey is in from the RAC Arena. Lots of events coming back to Perth. We'll tell you about those. Marnie Giroux's back, talking spiders on Wild Things. Stay with us with that one. Talking books with Kerry Ridley. She's coming in to talk about all the latest books that are out. Customer service, how do we improve it? We're going to ask Chris Moyer. And later on, talking streaming with Paul Elwin. We've got a 12-year-old performing for us today. His name is Elijah Smith. He's got a couple of numbers for you to watch. And I hope you can stick around. We've got some pizza to give away, movies to give away, lots more. It's The Couch. Episode 699 starts now.
It's showtime on the couch. It's showtime on the couch. You can see it from your house. You can see it from your house. It's showtime on the couch with Fred and the best in town. You can see it from your house. Yeah, it's showtime on the couch.
Welcome to The Couch, only on Foxtel. Thanks for your company. And don't forget, you can catch us also on Facebook and also on YouTube every Monday after we record the show. So you can watch it a week early online, socials, Facebook, and of course YouTube. And if you want to be part of The Couch, don't forget, contact us through that as well, whether you're a singer, a performer, entertainer or a guest. We'd love to hear from you. Now, we're talking music, and our favourite music presenter here, not talking ABBA, is, of course, Demelza Leonard. Happy birthday for last week, by the way. Thank you for coming in. Did you have a good birthday?
It was wonderful.
How does a music person celebrate their birthday? What did you do?
With DJs and
your husband's
in
a DJ.
a bar. So yeah, so
have fun.
Lots of fun.
And we gave her a week to recover from the celebrations. And nice to see you back.
I'm getting older. I can't recover as quickly as I used to.
Get to my age. You've still got another 13 years to go. But we're talking music today. Rock and Roll of Fame.
Yes.
Hall of Fame. What's happening
The
there?
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for 2021 has been announced for this year. Tina Turner has made the Hall of Fame list.
About time.
Exactly.
I'll call you if
exactly.
I need you.
She's
wonderful.
Tina Turner, Jay-Z has made the list. Carole King,
Yep.
the Go-Go's, the Foo Fighters.
Go-Go's.
For the very first year that they were eligible.
Yep.
Went straight in, and Todd Rundgren as well. So they will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And for the first time ever, they've got 2 new award categories as well. And into those is Kraftwerk, Gil Scott-Heron, Billy Preston, LL Cool J and Clarence Avant, as well as a few others.
Now, for those
as well.
people who don't know what the Hall of Fame is all about, who gets put into the Hall of Fame?
So basically you get a whole heap of artists that are nominated every year as to whether they're eligible. So they have to have been creating music for a certain amount of time, have made an impact on music, so it's not just any single person. And then they decide, there's a panel that will decide who will be the main 6 that goes in, and then so on and so forth. Led Zeppelin is apparently still not in the Hall of Fame yet.
Well, if I'm mistaken, I think ABBA was put into the Hall of Fame a while ago before they lost those 2 new songs. Yes. But no, so you have to be pretty good.
Yeah, and you're looking at the people who were impactful. So even they don't have to be pop artists or artists that have charted significantly. They could have made a huge impact on their particular genre as well. So.
Well, congratulations to all those fantastic performers, especially Tina Turner and the Go-Go's. I know them very well. Marilyn Manson sued by former assistant. Is he still around?
So Marilyn Manson has been around, but this is a bit part of the Me Too movement that has come about, started by one of the actresses from Game of Thrones. So Marilyn Manson's former assistant, Ashley Walters, has filed a lawsuit against him for sexual misconduct. There's a whole heap, there's about 4 different charges that are being brought against him in regards to this. She is just one of 12 now who have come out against Marilyn Manson in regards to what they feel as inappropriate behaviour that has spanned across decades.
The courts will decide, eh? And
That's
they're being sued. And
that's exactly
America
it.
as well, completely different laws to here in Australia. But interesting, we'll keep a watch on that. What's happening with the Blue Fest? They're returning.
Yes, so unfortunately earlier this year Blues Fest got cancelled and no one knew whether it would be being postponed or coming back. Good news is that it is coming back in October with 2 new names that have been added to the list, including Midnight Oil and Paul Kelly. So that adds to the already massive lineup that they have, including who they originally had on the bill, which was Tash Sultana, as well as Jimmy Barnes as well. So for more information on that as it comes into hand, follow the Blues Fest website and also go to Mosh Tickets as well.
Fantastic. How can you sleep while our beds are burning?
Exactly.
I do admit, I think Midnight Oil, they released a new album a few years ago. I just didn't mind it. It was more poppy than the old
it was
stuff.
after Peter Garrett had left politics as
Correct.
well, so it was very insightful.
Correct, I agree with you. Now we're looking at the ARIA top 3 who's selling
Yes.
CDs this week. Let's go to the
got
screen
some
and we'll have a look at number 3 first. And they are.
Coming in number 3, it is the Kid Laroi with Out You.
Oh, not bad. I don't mind that song. Number 2.
Number 2 is Doja Cat featuring Cesar with Kiss Me More.
Love the hair. If I had hair. Number 1.
And Body, Russ Millions and Tion Wayne.
Do you like that song?
It's interesting. It's not my cup of tea, but drill music. It's the very first ARIA number 1 that is within the drill genre, which is what all the cool kids are listening to these days. So.
If I had to say to you, what does Demelza listen to? What do you like listening to? What sort of radio do you listen to?
I have a mix. It depends on my mood, but 90s music kind of is where I sit
You're a
most
90s
of the
child, yeah.
time. Plus I can play a lot of 90s music with the little guy in the car as well. But I mean, on my way here I was listening to Cardi B, so it really depends on my mood.
You know what I listen to?
ABBA?
Who told you?
I don't know.
Yes, I love ABBA. I have to admit, I do like ABBA. There's a couple of new songs I've been waiting for to be released,
Yeah.
but have we heard anything more?
No, I was kind of hoping with Eurovision there might have been some announcement, but there's been nothing. So.
Demelza Leonard, you can catch her on DL Social, of course. It is demelzaleonard.com. That is her website, demelzaleonard.com.
Yep.
And she does more than just talk music. She can help you with all your social media needs, how to improve your standing as a business, how to maximise your opportunities
Definitely.
as well. DL Social.
Thank you.
Well done. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Fred.
We have got a wonderful young talent now, a 12-year-old Elijah Smith. He's got a lyrical dance number, a little bit different from singing. Welcome him to the show. Here's Elijah.
Look at me, you may think you see who I really am, but you'll never know me. Every day it's as if I play a part. Now I see, if I wear a mask I can fool the world, but I cannot fool my heart. Who is that man I see staring straight back at me? When will my reflection show who I am inside?
Well done, Elijah. We'll see you at the end of the show with another number. Elijah Smith, they're 12 years old. Well done. Fantastic dance number. I did actually try and do that in rehearsals, but as you could imagine, I was stuck to the floor and couldn't get a tow truck in to pick me up. But very well done. Very fit you have to be to do that sort of thing. Marika Bailey.
Hello.
You're fit and you're from RSC Arena. Well,
I
you're
am
fitter
from,
than me.
yeah. One of them is true, one of them is not.
We have got so many amazing events, and,
Yes.
and I was saying to Marika off air, it must be fantastic for you to be part of RSC Arena and to actually be able to do what you're paid to do and
Yeah.
what you're good at doing, organising events, people,
Yeah.
great artists. It's all coming back.
It is. So Tina Arena, we just had her recently, and she was our first touring concert for 15 months, which is just crazy.
I love Tina Arena. I would have
Yeah.
loved to have been there, but you didn't invite me. But that's okay. I'll forgive you.
Sorry,
no, I was
next
at
time.
I was in the radio anyway. But
Oh, there you go.
was the concert good? Did it go
Yeah.
really well?
Yeah,
People
it
love
was
her,
amazing.
eh?
It was actually live streamed across the world.
The universe,
universe. She had people tuning in from all over, which was amazing.
And have we got Human Nature appearing at RSC Arena yet? Or they're too busy?
Not yet, but they are producing new music, which is usually a sign that a tour is not too far away.
And we were talking about Human Nature. They've just released a new song
With Guy Sebastian, who is coming.
Yes,
Yes.
there you go. A bit
Yeah.
of quality there. That's
See
all
the
good.
connection, it's all coming together.
But they're not the only ones. We've got 5
Yes.
events, so let's go to them. We've got Amy Shark
Yes.
on the 3rd of July coming to the arena.
Yeah, so massive arena tour celebrating her new album Cry Forever, which has had some amazing duets on it. She's been working with Keith Urban,
Yep.
Ed Sheeran, which was amazing.
Some amazing artists
Yeah.
performing. So she's going to be performing solo, isn't she?
Yes.
Amy
yes.
Shark, 3rd of July,
Yeah.
RSC Arena. Get your tickets now.
From Ticket Tech.
Sneaker Land sounds really interesting. It's
Yeah.
9th of July. What's that all about?
So it's the first of its kind
Yeah.
in WA. It's a sneaker convention, basically. So
As in shoe sneakers.
sneakers, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, people pay big money.
Would you know once we had a NBA basketballer?
Yeah.
Not him, but we had his shoe.
Yeah.
The shoe was one shoe, $28,000.
Yeah, wow.
And I thought, oh
Yeah.
my God, how incredible.
I mean, I
So-
wish I could have that sort of money to spend on shoes. But
So
yeah.
will it be like an exhibition?
Yeah, exhibition style with a bit of entertainment.
And where are they doing that? In the
The
actual
main arena. Yeah.
Oh, wow. There's going to be a lot of shoes then.
Yeah,
And
quite
I
a few.
wonder if they're going to let
bits.
people buy shoes as
Yeah,
well.
buy, sell, trade. There'll be auction items of rare sort of shoes.
What a
Yeah,
great idea,
yeah.
but Sneakerland.
Yeah, so
And
it's been
that's-
presented by One Off Store,
Yep,
which is
yep.
a sneaker store in the city, and they've also got one in Vic Park. And yeah, they've got such a community here that and it's been really well received.
Hmm. I think it's a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
9th of July, we're doing it first in WA, so well done to RSC Arena for getting that. And I think it's something completely different to music
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And, to artists, shoes are also a fantastic style thing. and
It's such a
fashion.
culture. Yeah, it's real. Like these days, there's such a celebrity attachment to shoes and sort of like apparel of everything. But yeah, there is some sort of strange thing
I
happening
agree.
at the moment.
I watched a lady on YouTube or Facebook. She colours her sneakers.
Yes,
And they put them
it's
into
so
water.
impressive.
Yeah, and I think to myself, there's so much fashion out there
Yeah.
that I just go and buy them off the shelf. But
Yep.
Sneakerland coming to the RAC Arena, 9th of July. Only one show.
Yep.
Get your tickets now. The Sound On Festival. What's
Yes.
happening there on the 28th of August?
So it's presented by Murdoch University. It's it's a high schoolers festival. So 13 to 18 high schoolers can come and attend, and it's co-headlined by Rule and Flight Facilities, as well as some other
Fantastic.
artists.
And what can we expect on that day?
They have so much going on. They do it really, really well. So there's like a games hub, there's glitter and braid bar. They usually have a panel with the artists.
Is there one for the kids or more the adults? Or both?
Only teenagers. Only teenagers.
There you go.
Yeah,
So,
so-
don't bring your parents, kids.
Nah.
Just get them to pay
Don't be
for the
uncool.
tickets.
Yeah.
This one here.
Yes. Delta.
I was born to try. Delta Goodrum, nice to see her
so
back in Perth.
familiar. Yeah. I would have thought it was her
you're
had
so
I not been
nice.
looking at you.
Yes, I know, I agree. People have said to me there's a similarity in our voices. Yeah, right. Delta Goodrum, love her from Neighbours.
Yes.
Remember her from The Voice.
Yeah.
And I think she's going to be in the new Channel 7 version of The Voice as well.
Ah, okay, right,
yes,
right.
which is going to be interesting.
So
But-
this one was meant to be in April, and unfortunately, just because of the COVID times we're in, she did have to push it back to October on the 13th.
Yeah.
But we're looking forward to having her.
She is a great performer, isn't she?
Yeah.
Australian performer, has done really well from being Nina on Neighbours.
Yeah.
I tell you what, she's moved.
She's come a long way.
She's come a long way. So
Yeah.
Delta Goodrum, only one show, folks, 13th of October.
Yep.
said, please don't miss out. You can only hold, 50,000 people?
50, yeah, not
Is that
quite.
right? No? How many can we hold at the arena?
We're at 100% capacity again, so we can go
What's
up
that about?
to 15 and a half.
Oh, 15 and a half.
Yeah.
But, hey, we want 50,000 tickets.
I mean, we
sold
can
to
try.
Perth too.
I think it would be a bit uncomfortable.
But we want to sell out, especially now that we're allowed to have full capacity as well.
Exactly. Welcome
and,
her.
And
Yeah.
we're great for Delta to be supported by everybody. Kiss. That wasn't a trying to hook up type thing.
No. I
You
get
remember
it.
the tongue?
Yeah,
And
I know.
It's
impressive.
real.
It's
Now,
impressive.
they are coming back. I am
Yeah.
amazed. I don't even... Have
they
you
still
seen
on the
what they
road?
look like?
So fit. They are. They're really doing
14th
well.
of November. What can we expect? All their old hits and maybe some new stuff?
Yeah, so this tour was meant to come in 2019 and unfortunately one of them fell ill, so they had
I
to
remember.
put it off and this is the return of that. So end of the road tour.
This will be a die-hard thing for 70s and 80s children
Yeah.
that have grown up. Not you, of course, probably my age group. But if you love Kiss with all the makeup, the
Yeah.
tongues and the music.
Yeah, just a bit of nostalgia.
It'd be fantastic. And
Yeah.
I think, but we've only got one show,
Again,
14th of
one show,
November.
yep.
We do need people to go to your website because there's that and more on your website.
So much happening.
The website to go to is racarena.com.au. It's on the screen right now. You need to go on right now. Don't wait. Don't ask your friends. Just go on and buy your tickets because you might miss out.
Be spontaneous.
Anything else you want to tell me?
Oh, there's lots happening. So yeah, we're back to 100%, which is amazing. Yeah, we've got lots coming up and a lot that's in the works, which is exciting.
Marika Bailey, Communications Manager at RAC Arena. We'll see you back very soon.
Thank you for having me.
Great job. And we'll see you at the other side of the break. Thanks for watching The Couch. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to The Couch. Hope you're having a good time. Hope you're all doing well around Australia. We're going to talk wild things now. We've got that lady that knows everything about every single creature, looking after the environment, and she lives in Chittering as well, which is a wonderful place to do all of that. It is, of course, Marnie Giroux. She's back with us on Wild Things. Back to you.
Thanks, Fred. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Wild Things. Well, when I say spiders, how does it make you feel? For some people, it's their worst nightmare, but for my next guest, Dr. Leander Mason from Trapdoor Spiders of Perth, they're super cool creatures, super important for the environment, and it's her mission to educate us all about them. Welcome to the show, Leander.
Thanks, Marnie. Thanks for having me.
No worries. Tell us, how did you get into spiders?
Well, actually, it's a bit of a story. I don't know how much time we have, but...
Go right ahead.
Okay. Thanks. So I was in my second year at university and I met a lady called Barbara York Main, mostly because I was having a bit of a complaint to one of the professors about what we were learning about. It was mostly cute and fluffy vertebrates, and I was just like, which was, things with a backbone. And I was just not very interested in that. So he introduced me to a lady called Barbara York Main, Dr. Barbara York Main, or adjunct professor by that point, who had dedicated her life to studying trapdoor spiders. And I'd never seen one before. Like, I'd lived in Perth my whole life, right? They're there.
They're around.
I'm keen on, things in the ground.
Yeah.
Had snails as pets as a kid, and
Okay.
I was one of those weird kids. Let's be honest. But yeah, she had one in a pot plant, full of dirt,
Wow.
with a grate over it, and it said, "Danger, live spider."
Oh my gosh.
She opened the lid of the, the grate.
Yep.
And then she put a little cockroach in, and and the trapdoor spider went and grabbed it. And that was the first time I'd ever seen a trapdoor spider, and I was just like,
What the heck?
What just happened? What was that?" And then I just kind of hung off it for the next 10 years.
So incredible, what an experience. Why are they important for the environment, these guys?
That's an interesting question. We're not quite sure where they fit. I mean, there's the web of life, and diversity generally makes a ecosystem more robust. So the more species you have, the more likely it's not going to collapse, because there'll be things that come in and, take the place of others if they go extinct.
Okay.
But spiders generally play an important role in keeping the insect populations down.
Okay.
So they don't get into plate proportions and, oscillate really wildly in terms of resource depletion. So it kind of stabilises the ecosystems a little bit.
So super important generally. And as you
Yeah, generally.
mentioned, trapdoor spiders, they have a really interesting life, and you mentioned one of those parts of it. Can you tell us a little bit how those guys live?
They live for a very long time. Is that the part that you were referring
That's
to?
interesting. How long? Yeah.
43 years old
You're
was the
kidding.
oldest trapdoor spider. Yeah.
43 years
That was
old.
actually quite a local species as
No
well in the
way.
wheat belt of Western Australia, yeah.
So obviously trapdoor.
Yeah.
What are these guys doing? They're underground.
They're mostly underground. They live in burrows, which can go quite deep. Like the deepest one was about 1 metre long.
And you've got a camera that you can thread
Oh, yeah.
down there, don't you? Can you show
my
us that?
handy
That's
little
pretty amazing.
oscilloscope, which has got a camera on it and a little light, and I just thread it down the burrow, and I got, I can record it.
So you can see it on the screen there. That'd be most people's absolute nightmare to thread something down a little trapdoor spider. Do they kind of like come at you when the camera gets close?
Well, to be fair, I am invading
Yes,
their
their
home,
home, yeah.
which they stay in their entire life,
Right.
unless they're a male.
Yeah.
In which case, they do stay there until they're ready to leave and find a mate.
Wow.
In which case, they have an interesting sex life. So
Gosh.
I'm not sure if this is G-rated. So I'm just
Well, yeah, pretty much. So, like, absolutely amazing. And you actually have brought some special friends in with you today, haven't you?
very special friends indeed.
Can you tell us a bit about your special friends?
Yes, I can. Should I
These little
interact with
guys
them? Or?
here. We can see them on camera.
Okay, we can see them on camera. So the bigger one there is
Yep.
the female, and the smaller one there with the long, skinny legs is the male.
So they're the same species.
These two are very closely related species, but
Okay.
it's very similar. They would pretty much be the same species,
Wow.
except the fact that trapdoor spiders tend to speciate really easily. So they're a thing called a short-range endemic, which means they occur over a very small area.
Okay.
And there's some that only occur in like mountain peaks or certain swamp areas, that kind
Wow.
of thing. And that's their entire distribution in the world.
So you've been studying them in Perth and the Perth region
Yeah, my PhD was on the effects of urbanisation, so
on how they're getting displaced by people.
they're actually fine with people as long as the reserves are well maintained. So it's the quality, not the quantity of area.
Okay.
That's what I found with my research.
Yeah.
So things like invasive grass are actually more dangerous than invasive species
Yeah, okay.
to their persistence, especially places like Bold Park where veld grass is a real issue and
Yep.
can completely displace a lot of the habitat.
So the little trapdoor, I mean, sometimes you do see them when you're walking through the bush. Like, what triggers them to open the door?
It's actually quite unlikely that you will see them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they have a very, very camouflaged
Okay.
trapdoor.
Yep.
Which is to protect them as well, but
course.
it also works well when they're sit and wait predators and they leap out and grab something that's just walking past, minding its own business.
Can
and
they
gets
feel it
eaten.
or something? Is there
Vibrations, yeah.
vibration?
So some of them have neat little twig lines that come out. They actually attach it to the rim of the burrow, so they have like these nice fans that come out. And then some of them just have like little trip lines. of
Trip
silk.
lines?
Yeah, trip lines.
Wow, that's
Vibration, kind of similar to what you'd see with orb weavers.
Okay.
So they just feel the vibrations at the edge and leap out.
Wow, that's amazing. So incredible work, and what an amazing species to trapdoors. What an amazing project.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing it for?
I was 19 when I met Barbara, who was 79 at the time.
Yeah.
So there was a 60-year age gap, and we managed to bridge the. I didn't know what a doily was, which was quite embarrassing.
I guess trapdoor spiders. That would be a pretty cool little.
Well, it is because she was talking about how the females put a little doily around the rim of the burrow to attract the males, because it produces pheromones, and the males get attracted to that because they're actually quite blind.
Are they?
Yeah, so they follow the pheromone trail,
Okay.
and she was talking about doilies, and for the longest time I thought it was like a really technical term for these like little
Yep.
lace things that go around the but it turns out I just need to talk to more people that are older than me.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. So, if you wanted to get sort of a message out to people about trapdoor spiders, what would be the main reason that we need to protect them, do you think?
Trapdoor spiders, but also spiders more generally. I think we take for granted the huge diversity represented by spiders, but also their venom and their silk is really useful. And if I'm going beyond the species to save species sake argument, which I intrinsically think that you should, preserve species because they have a right to be here on the earth. But economically speaking, or medically speaking, Sydney funnelweb venom is being used for medical treatments in terms of post-stroke treatments and
Wow.
non-addictive painkillers and targeted insecticides. So there's a lot of application for the venom, and then we're only really reaching a a very small part now, but there's species that have gone extinct before we've even been able to record them, let alone look at their venom.
That's pretty sad, isn't it? Gosh.
Yeah, I think conservation-wise we need to really look at preserving them, so not because they deserve to be here, but then how can they benefit humanity as well?
Yeah, and that's always a reason why we tend to, I guess, as humans, you know, look after things or, you know, make sure we have
If you need that
processes in place.
economic incentive.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much
Yeah.
for coming on the show today. Absolutely fascinating talking about these little guys. Thank you for joining us and good luck with the rest of your research.
Thank you.
Guys, if you want to learn more about spiders or Dr. Mason's incredible work on trapdoor spiders in Perth, check out her Facebook page, Trapdoor Spiders in Perth, or visit our website at thecouch.com.au. Back to you, Fred.
Thank you very much, Marnie. Quick question for Dr. Leander. If someone wants to get a trapdoor spider as a pet, where would you go and look for one? Where would you get one?
Gosh, well, you're not legally allowed to collect them from
So
the
we just come
environment.
through you?
Oh, yeah,
So
on
you
the sly.
can't legally
That's how I
keep
fund my research, really. No.
So you can't actually have them as pets. So kids,
There
don't
are
worry
captive
about
breeders
it. Okay.
who do it ethically. So, and I think there's like a rehoming Facebook page which you might be able to reach out to.
Thank you very much. There you go, kids. You're going to have to look at the more safer pet. Now, how would you... I can help you with a pizza, by the way. Bites Pizza are a great sponsor. They're giving us pizzas to give away every week on the show. Today, we're giving you a chance of winning a $25 voucher. And all you have to do to win this amazing voucher, I've got one here in my hands. $25 is what it says on there. Your name goes up the top there. To win, all you have to do is SMS us at 0439 929 929. Name and address. The code word has to be BYTES, B-Y-T-E-S. That's B-Y-T-E-S is the code word, and we would love you to win. So 0439 929 929. It's on the screen right now. BYTES is the code word, and you can win this beautiful voucher. It's only north of the river, folks. Erindale Road, Balcatta. So if you live in Fremantle, it's a bit far for them to deliver. Pizza will be cold. We'll take a break. Coming back after the break, we're talking books with Kerry Ridley. Stay with us. Welcome back to The Couch. It's always a great pleasure to have our next guest in. Kerry Ridley runs an organisation called My Little Bookshop, and she's with us today talking books on the couch. Welcome to Kerry Ridley.
Thank you.
How's your week been?
Fantastic, actually. Yeah.
What's been
really well.
happening in the world of My Little Bookshop?
Well, we've done all the market scene this weekend, which was really cool. And, you know, Perth people, the population, they see rain, they stay indoors, but it was actually a pretty good turnout. So that was a big win.
What a great idea.
Yeah.
I was thinking that you might even want to do, you know, when people have those, when they meet each other at home and they read a different book, you could start going over to people's houses and bring the books over and everything.
Yes, yeah. Well, I get a lot of advanced copy books, so I
There you
do divvy
go.
them out to my friends to read for me.
What a great
so.
idea. Now, tell us a little bit about My Little Bookshop for those people who haven't caught you on the show. How does it work?
Okay, My Little Bookshop is a travelling bookshop around Western Australia. So we have the 3 vans. We do the Perth market scene. We go out to the country, do trips out there, and we have a big focus on WA authors as well.
And they can find out all the details of where you're located. On screen right now is your website. And we want people to go to that website, mylittlebookshop.com.au, and they can find out exactly where you are every week, as long as it doesn't rain, of course, because you're not going to wet the books. Today, we have got 5 books plus your own pick, so I'm going to go straight into it.
Cool.
Let's start with the first one called Shore Leave. What's that all about?
Okay, local author, and it's all about Fremantle in the late 80s, crime detective. This is David Wish-Wilson's 4th book with Frank Swan, who's the detective. And it's all like the heady days of Alan Bond. So it's like a lot of crime, murder, drugs, prostitutes, all set in around Fremantle. American sailors thrown in there. I think we all remember back in them days, Fremantle was pretty full on.
I'll make
It's a great book.
Fred wants to read that
Yeah.
one. Sounds interesting. Market, who would it be for? Demographic?
As a demographic, I'd say, well, probably my age group for starters. And then also, anyone who's a fan of maybe James Patterson, Gerald Seymour.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What about this one here, which is, of course, I could try and pronounce it probably. Is it the Norwegia Tapes?
Noriega.
Close
as
enough.
in Manuel Noriega.
As in Noriega. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yes, yep.
Sorry about that.
That's right.
What's it about?
This, I'm so excited about this one because Lance Carlson, a couple of months ago, there was that viral YouTuber, the octopus that attacked the guy out in the water. That's Lance. And he's a local...
It's a true story. That's what we need to tell people too.
Yeah.
Based on a true story.
So this one here was, and I'm excited because it is also, as a local author, it's getting away from kids' books that I do a lot of. So as a West Australian author, to have more of an adult kind of story, but it's very brutal. It's all about the Americans and the CIA, and they were the bad guys in Panama in the 80s. So it's, if you're a big fan of, I'd say, the Tom Clancy and the Jack Ryan stories, and also it's got like a bit of a glamorous James Bond couple of chapters in there as well, but it is full on, very
$24.99. The other book we talked about, of course, Shore Leave, was $32.99 if you're wondering. So $24.99, not bad. Good gift coming up to Christmas soon. Buy them all now. Now this one here is an interesting one, The Great Believers.
This Rebecca Mackay, she's won a lot of awards. She's an international author. This is also set back in the early to mid 80s, and it's in two parts. So there's the AIDS in that initial beginning where everybody was scared and the fear factor, and it's a story about 5 friends. Is set in Chicago, and then the present day is about a mother going to look for her daughter in Paris, and that connection, because the mother is the sister of one of the characters who dies. But it just reminded me of how really quite awful we were as a society to people with AIDS.
How things have changed, eh?
Oh, totally, yeah.
The Great Believers. Now, that book there is $23.99 as well. So not a bad price. Now, Rachel Johns, she's got a new book. Let me pull the book out. I was getting two at a time. Tell us about this one here.
This is literally her latest release. It's only come out a couple of days ago. And so she's around Perth and WA at the moment doing her promo tour for it. This is very, chick romance in a nutshell.
And what's it called? It's called How to Mend a Broken Heart, something we all need some help with.
Oh, we've all been through that over the years, haven't we?
A good read. Now, is she a West Australian, or is she from Australian but not living here?
No, she is West Australian. She lives in the Swan Valley.
Oh, fantastic. So, and she's doing it to us, so check her out. And buy one of the books. She'll probably sign it for you as well.
Yeah, she will. Yeah,
now, that
great
one
lady.
There doesn't have a price on
No, because that's an advanced copy. The actual stock for me hasn't arrived yet. Hopefully it will this week.
So can they pre-order?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they can. Yeah.
Fantastic. Now, this one is the number 5 book. Where Does Sloth Belong? A kid's book.
Yes. Gorgeous story by Chloe Stevens. It's her first little book, and it's one of them like rhyming kind of stories, and it's set in the South American jungle. He's trying to find his family, so there's piranhas and toucans and llamas and stuff. But I think with the whole rhyming of it, it's a good one to probably read over and over again for the kids to sleep.
Big sharp teeth. No, thank you. I will not be something you chew. He quickly crawled away, but for a sloth, that means slow. I'll go up this tree, he said. That's where I'll go. There you go. That's an example of what you'll find in this amazing book. Now, that is only $14.99, a great birthday gift, I think, for kids as well. Age group?
Age group would be sort of, you can read it basically from 0 through to about 5.
Now, Kerry's pick. I said to Kerry, I want one book every month that is all about you, one that you pick.
And it's very dog-eared. It's been on mine sites, it's been in hospitals, everybody's borrowed that book. It's Educated by Tara Westover.
Well, what's it about?
This came out it's her biography and memoir, and it came out in 2018. Basically, she grew up in a family in Idaho that the mum and dad were conspiracy theorists, doomsday preppers. So they had 5 kids and not one of them was registered anywhere. So it was like the town, the government didn't even know these kids existed. Very quite scary. And to think that was in the 90s is quite baffling.
They didn't belong anywhere.
No.
They're almost illegal immigrants.
In their own country.
Yeah, terrible.
So she was 17. She got herself out of that, went to uni, like Harvard, Cambridge, PhDs.
And what did she end up doing?
So
we don't want to give away what happens to her.
No, you know what? She's just living a beautiful life and very forgiving of her family. And Tara's been interviewed by Bill Gates, Obama. Yeah.
So there you go. There's the Kerry's pick as well. That's your
Yes.
choice of books. Let's talk about Fremantle Press Fogarty Award. The shortlist been announced?
It has been announced, and that will be next week. I don't know how to say it. Is it the Spiegel tent in the city?
You say it, I'll just say yes. That's the way you say it. Spiegel sounds good.
That's where they're doing the winners for that.
Yep.
And then we also...
Australian Booksellers Association shortlist announced?
Yes, that will be... Winners will be at the end of June. And Australian Booksellers is all the bookshops around Australia who put in their nominations for what
and
books
then we've
they
also
think.
got the Miles Franklin long list announced.
Yes.
What's all that?
Well,
long
Miles
list?
Franklin... it's a bit, that's the epitome of the literary world for Australia.
Yep.
And obviously they've all got to be Australian stories. It started back in the 50s. So that is like, if you get the Miles Franklin, it's like the real classy award for Australia. But this year they've actually picked a long list that is all sort of more emerging writers rather than the big guns and the big names that they normally have. So.
Thank you very much. Now, we've got a giveaway this week as well. We've got 3 books. Tell us quickly what they are.
It's all rock stars, so they're board books.
There they are on screen, actually. So we've got Baby Bowie, which is obviously David Bowie.
Yeah.
Then we've got Let's Rock and Roll All Night. Who's that one?
Kiss.
Oh, yes, I could tell by the tongue. And the last one is, of course, Get Out Your Blue Suede Shoes. It's time to rock and roll, Elvis.
Yes, it's
There you go.
Elvis.
Now, we're giving away these. Can people buy this set as well?
Yes, they can.
What are they worth to buy?
They are $14.99.
So there you go. Not a bad gift. If you would like to win those books, check out the graphic that was on screen there. All you got to do is SMS us to 0439. There it is, 0439 929 929. Name and address and put the word books on that SMS. That's your code word, and we'll give the first person who SMSs the correct answer those books. Kerry, what's your website if people want more information and find out where you are?
mylittlebookshop.com.au.
Look forward to seeing you in about 4 weeks' time with more books.
Beautiful, yeah.
Did we leave anything out?
No, covered all
I think
bases.
we did it well.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Now, Bowel Cancer Week is coming up very, very soon around Australia. Check out this promo, and then we'll talk some more to Nisha with another great guest.
So, when it comes to keeping people alive, who gets all the credit? The heart. Pump, 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 pump. What else does it do? Nothing. I tell you what I do. I take the trash out every day, sometimes twice. And what's the cherry on top of that crap Sunday that's my life? I'm the home of Australia's second deadliest cancer. Aren't I? Hello? No. No one's even listening.
A very good ad. Now, let me tell you a little bit about it. Bowel Cancer Awareness Month is an annual initiative by Bowel Cancer Australia running throughout the month of June. It goes through to the 30th of June to raise public awareness of the disease that claims the lives of more than 80 Australians every week. That's a lot of people. For more information, please go to www.bowelcancerawarenessmonth.org for details, and please support them because they do an amazing job. Somebody else that does an amazing job, and we support her every week, and the guy she's got with him today. It is, of course, Nisha Seth, and she's got Chris Moyer with her.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Fred. Welcome back to the couch, a good friend of the couch, Chris.
Thank you. I thought Fred was talking about me, and he says I love working with her.
Oh, maybe he meant both of us.
Both.
I was trying to get us both. Yeah.
In this new modern world, I just say him, her, what,
doesn't matter.
whatever.
Fine. Blended approach. Beautiful. I love
There you
it. So, Chris, you come on and speak about a lot of customer service related topics because that is your expertise. Today, I'm really excited about what you'll be talking about because I know very minimal about it in the customer service context. So what are we going to talk about?
Well, I guess I'll leave the word for now. We'll come up to it in a moment. But I guess I want to focus on a topic that I think every single person watching can get something out of. And I think it's about how, if we self-reflect on the way we serve others, how even if we think we're good at customer service, we may not necessarily be. So you might think, I'm great at customer service, I give good customer service. But actually, when you look at it, not really.
Really interesting. Really interesting.
That's it.
Because this is in customer service, but this can be applicable to anyone out there in a range of professions
Exactly.
as well.
So I think what the difference is there's the fact that we do our job a certain way. So there's the element of doing in service. So for instance, if I'm standing at a checkout, and I'm sorry to use checkouts as an example, but I'm scanning items, it's what I'm doing. But the second part of that is not necessarily just what we're doing, but it's also how we're being in a service situation. So if we're technically doing the right thing, but our attitude or something inside of us is not being the best person we can be, then unfortunately, let's hear it, we're not serving. We're not serving someone well.
So behaviours, are we talking more about the actual doing and our attitude and our behaviours today rather than the actual task itself?
That's right. We're talking about how we're being in a situation. And what I'm going to introduce to you and to everybody who's watching now is that we tend to be a person who moralises others. Now, believe it or not, moralising is extremely prevalent in customer service land. And just as I said the word, it's going to be interesting to think of what your and what our viewers, what their first thoughts are on the word. We know generally what demoralising means, which is to make someone sort of, I guess, lose all confidence and hope and sort of push them in the ground. And a lot of people think, well, if that's demoralising, then moralising must be good. But no, it's not. In fact, in actual fact, moralising is just as bad. And what it means to moralise is to effectively comment on issues of right and wrong with an unfounded air of superiority.
And where does this come from in your experience working with customers?
Well, morals come from our parents. I know that my parents and grandparents would moralise me, and that's how you learn morals. But I think when we think about giving service to customers, it's not about telling a customer what they should have done based on your views on a particular topic.
No one likes being told what to do.
No,
right?
and using the word should have, that's exactly how moralising comes on.
Okay.
So if someone says something like, if I said, oh my God, the car park's busy today, and the person says, well, you should have thought it would be busy because it's Boxing Day. It's implying that they know that the car parks are busy, but I don't. And I should have known.
This is intention and behaviour as well, stuff, and unconscious bias too, to a degree. Do you think everyone's aware that they're doing this half the time?
No, they don't, because I think they think, oh, I'm great at customer service, and I'm teaching they call it educating. They say I'm educating customers, but they're not really. They're putting them down in with this air of superiority, and that's not good service.
So how do you know, as a customer service rep, that you're perhaps doing this? How do you assess? How do you?
Well, typically, how do you assess?
Right?
Yes. Well, how do you know that you're moralising? Typically, when you moralise someone, it creates conflict. And that's a separate issue. No one likes to be told you should have. If I come to you in a time of need and say, excuse me, has anyone handed in a lost set of car keys? And you go, well, you should have hung on to your belongings. This wouldn't have happened.
Unhelpful.
Now you know that. Now imagine if that happened at a football stadium. You've got 50,000 people there, and someone says, "Is there any lost property?" Well, we all know that the cardinal rule is to keep your belongings tight, but not all customers do, and that's the interesting thing, that every single customer is different, is unique. Some of them forget their belongings. Some of them don't plan where they're going to park. Some of them are in a world of their own. And I think it's not right for us to comment on issues, because they present themselves in a somewhat silly way.
So what I'm hearing is that it's okay, like everyone is enough and they're okay, which is what we say in psychology, like as an individual, not to cast a judgment is very hard as a human being, but, we're all going to do different silly things, but we want to make sure we don't make others feel silly as well in that situation.
There's nothing wrong with saying, look, in the future, just a tip might be, check your belongings or check your parking or check on the website before you come here. That's just a nice, useful suggestion. But I think just to comment on the fact that the customer has stuffed up, it's not good at all. And they think they're doing the right thing, and that's just the point. They think, well, no, I'm great at customer service, but in actual fact, no, you're just being highly judgmental because you think you know best.
Hey, Chris, I'm really interested. Have you met someone like this and had to provide advice? Because this would be tough.
Do you know, absolutely, and I'm going to say this on TV. I think it's important to know that I remember in my early days serving others, it was something that I noticed about myself. I was becoming more aware that, oh, hang on a second, I love talking to people, but then why am I suddenly becoming so, caught up on things? And that was a huge awakening for me. But also then as I went around to more workplaces, and even now I see it happening all the time. So it's this, I don't mean to say that anybody's perfect. It just happens. The longer we work in a company, the more experience we get, the more we think we know.
Right.
We think we're coming out in a good way, but we're actually not.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So interesting, and we could talk for a really long time on this, but you're going to be coming back on the show.
Are we finished already? So quick.
But where can people find out more and most importantly, contact you
For
to
sure.
carry
And
on?
we could have a question about moralising. So my website is chrissmoyer.com and my direct email is chris@chrissmoyer.com as well, and would love to have a chat.
Wonderful, Chris. Thank you for coming on the couch as per usual, and we'll look forward to seeing you next month.
Thank you again.
Wonderful.
See you then.
And if you've missed any of that, of course, you can go to our website, thecouch.com.au, or our Facebook page as well. Back to you, Fred.
Thank you. I think Chris was moralising you at that end of the segment. Didn't you, Chris?
What?
And you said, we're already finished.
We're already finished.
We should have been longer.
Should have been longer. No.
I've got a thick wall that didn't get through.
Good on you, Chris. And of course, he's an expert at customer service. Give him a go. If you need him for your business, he can help you. Give him a call. Contact him. We're going to take a break. Coming up after the Craig, we're talking streaming with Paul Elwyn. I'll get it right eventually. It's all the moralising going on here. Well done.
Connect with The Couch online through Facebook, Instagram and YouTube.
Thank you very much. Just adjusting my jacket so I look hot and sexy on the TV. Does nothing for me. Thank you for your company. I hope you've enjoyed the show today, but it's not over yet. We've got Paul Elwyn in the studio talking streaming. Lots of streaming going on. Paul, welcome
lots
back.
of streaming. It's nice, coming in the winter, like going home and just catching up on your shows.
I agree with you. I agree. I think
Heaps
it's days like this with rain and everything else. It's nice to be home with a bit of ice cream.
Put the old
or some
Woody on
chips.
and check out some shows.
Hot chips, yeah.
I got a mixed bag of stuff here too.
Let's
which is
have a
good.
look. What are we on first
one?
with?
First
Star
one,
Wars.
I love Disney Plus. It's got Star Wars and Marvel and everything. So for me, the latest thing on Disney Plus at the moment is Star Wars: The Bad Batch. This is it's from the Clone Wars storyline. So what happens is you've got like a ragtag group of stormtroopers.
Yep.
They all have their own sort of individual looks and they have some interesting abilities. We've got Hunter, Wrecker, Tech, Crosshair and Echo. And some of these are actually from the previous Clone Wars episodes as well. So this is a new series that started called The Bad Batch. There's 16 episodes in all, and we're currently about 4 or 5 episodes deep in it.
And is it serious or is it a bit of a joke?
Star Wars is dead serious for everybody. No, it's a lot of fun. The kids can watch this one. The adults can watch this one. It's a lot of fun. The animation is pretty cool. The characters are really interesting. I like it. But yeah, you've got 16 episodes by the time this is done, like in around, I think, late July or August for this one. So on Disney Plus, the newest Star Wars is The Bad Batch, which I'm enjoying.
It looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah,
good
it's pretty
CGI. Cool. Jupiter's Legacy on
Jupiter's
Netflix.
Legacy. So this is the people that sort of, still like the superhero stories, but this one's kind of serious. So any fans of The Boys or Kick-Ass, that movie that was before? One of the writers on Kick-Ass, Mark Miller, he actually wrote this for Image Comics. So this is Jupiter's Legacy. What it is back in the 30s, this family of regular people suddenly get these superpowers and they decide to form the Union of Justice. And this is a superhero group. And what they do is they have a set of rules. A quick set of rules is never kill anyone and no politics. But what happens is we're taken right up now to the modern day. They've got their kids, which have superpowers as well, and their kids are going, well, geez, I can't really strive to be as good as our parents because they had the best PR and everyone really loved them and had huge stories about them. So they've sort of decided, no, never mind, we're going to change the rules. And a few episodes in, they actually kill one of the major enemies, the major nemesis of the group, and they're all going, oh, okay, maybe the rules need to change or what's going on with this. So yeah, it's pretty interesting.
That's called Jupiter's Legacy on Netflix
that's
right
on Netflix. The whole season 1 is available to check out.
The Handmaid's Tale.
The Handmaid's
on
Tale.
SBS On Demand.
Oh, SBS On Demand. You can watch this on Fox as well. But yeah, SBS On Demand is probably the easiest way to check this out.
And it's free if you don't have it.
Free.
And
You
do
can
they
watch-
keep their clothes on? Because SBS has got a reputation, you know.
For me, well, this one's more of a serious dystopian kind of. This is more. It's a bit violent and gross in some parts, but
Kids love that. Kids are going to love it.
this one's definitely rated M. So this is the whole dystopian future, an alternate future. What it is, we've got Gilead is this place where the whole politics and everything's changed, and the handmaids are actually the only fertile women in this whole society because of what's been going on with disease and everything. And so we've got Elizabeth Moss, who plays Jane Osborne. She's one of the handmaids, and she's actually part of this intrinsic revolution that's happening where everyone's going to be rising against Gilead. The weird thing I find with this, my wife loves this show, I watch it every now and then as well. She escapes Gilead, but for some reason she ends up coming back and getting captured, so she keeps going back and forth. But when she does this, she's actually part of the rebellion. She has friends. Canada is the one of the few free countries, and they're actually being part of the invasion and to liberate Gilead. And so season 4, which I was told initially was this might be the last season, it's actually been extended. Extended for season 5.
Beautiful.
So
that's The Handmaid's
huge.
Tale, SBS on demand. Let's have a look at Catfish on Binge. Now, this is the
Catfish on
Foxtel
Binge, which is also on MTV. It's an MTV staple. They've had over 200 episodes. This one I thought was, Catfish, new episodes, but what it is it's not during the sort of COVID era, but this was before the COVID era episodes. Catfish, the entire premise of it all was Nathan Rutherford and Mark Shane started this series when both of them were actually catfished in real life. So what happened was...
What does that actually mean for those people who don't know?
Catfishing is you find someone online. Online is a name and a photo, and they go, "Oh, hi, I'm so-and-so, let's meet up." "Oh, I can't meet up, I'm really busy, but we should still be in some sort of relationship
Here's
and
my
share
bank
secrets
account.
and everything." And then what he does is he predominantly uses Google image search in reverse, and he finds out for other people, he goes, this isn't the person you were talking to. This is a completely different person. So these are the adventures where they find different so-called couples, but they don't work out too well. But Catfish, it's huge.
Sounds good.
A lot of episodes to check out.
Number 5 is Shrill on SBS.
Yeah, Shrill, that's on SBS on demand as well. And there's 3 seasons, and it's actually a complete finished batch of seasons now. It's all 22 episodes. It's starring the current SNL actress who's in Saturday Night Live, Aidy Bryant. She's in this, and she co-wrote this. And what it is she's hilarious in this, but she's quite good in SNL, but I like her in this one because she's actually more dramatic. There's a few funny things in it and a few quirks. Essentially, all it is her experiences from real life as well, but through her work as a heavy-set woman and what happens to her every day. Like people trying to go, you should date this guy. And she's going, wait a sec, this guy's quite, heavy set. Are you just comparing us with that? She goes and buys clothes. She has issues with that, but it's quirky, but she plays the whole awkward situation so well, and it's so well done.
Fantastic. That's Shrill. SBS on demand. And the final one today is Holston on Netflix.
The last one. This is the big fashion one. This one, Holston. Ewan McGregor's in this. It's not the first time he's actually played an openly gay character. He's done that a couple of times before. And this one, he plays the real life designer who's had his life and legacy all done. Roy Holston Frowick. Synonymous during the 50s, 60s and 70s. Jackie Kennedy wearing the pillbox hat during JFK's inauguration. He was part of that. He invented a lot of women's fashion that's quite iconic. But the whole thing is with his life, when he became a huge name, he started to live a bit more lavishly, and he was mainly associated with Studio 54, the nightclub. So you actually get to see a little bit of what happens there. He was great friends with Liza Minnelli and Andy Warhol. And so this is his rise to fame, but also during the 80s, he gradually lost control of all of his designs and his name and the concepts and everything from that.
A true story.
A true story from that, yeah. But it's huge, and Ewan McGregor does an amazing job in this one.
Check it out, Holston on Netflix.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul. We'll catch up with you with a couple of weeks' time for movies. Now we're talking about movies. We're going to give away some movies. We've got 2 passes, standard passes, and 2 of the platinum in the left here of my hand. If you would like to win them, of course, Palace Cinema is where you can go and use them. They have an amazing, beautiful bar. They've got lots of leather seats. They've got an elegance above all the others, and we're going to give you the passes for you to go and enjoy all the movies that are out at the moment. I've got 2 platinum, 2 normal passes. We will give them out to one person. That's right, you can go twice. All you have to do is send an SMS to 0439 929 929. The code word is Palace, as in Palace Cinema, and get those in. Now, you'll be anywhere in Australia, folks. Anywhere in Australia, we'll post these out to you, because Palace is everywhere in Australia, which is great as well. Thank you to Palace for supporting us with that. That is it for the show today. Thanks to all the wonderful crew. Thanks to Abby. Thanks to Patreon. Thanks to Aidan. Thanks to Charlotte. Thanks to Scott. Thanks to Carla. Thanks to Eleni. Thanks to, let's get it right, Sonia, Michael, Adrian, our director, and of course our sound guy, Alec. I think I've got, and Rocky and Barbara in the control room, in the tea room as well, looking after all our guests in the green room. Thank you. We'll see you next week. We'll leave you with 12-year-old Elijah Smith doing a contemporary dance piece. Have a wonderful week. Stay safe. See you next week. Bye-bye.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. Party, party people, party people. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Hitman. Again, check it, direct it, let's begin. Party on, party people, let me hear some noise. DC's in the house, jump, jump, rejoices. There's a party over here, a party over there. Wave your hands in the air, shake the dairy, yeah. These 3 words mean you're getting busy. Whoop, there it is, I'm done. Whoop, come on, whoop, there it is. Louder, whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Upside down and inside out, I'm about to show all you folks what it's all about. Now it's time for it to get on the mic and make this mother party hype. I'm taking it back to the old school, cause I'm an old fool who's so cool. If you wanna get down, I'ma show you the way. Woo! And it goes a little something like this.